Hey, how was your weekend? Good? Great. Small talk over. Let's talk about Epstein. Okay. Last week, Democrats in Congress released a handful of salacious emails about Trump from a trove of documents provided by the Epstein estate, including one in which Epstein says that Trump, quote, knew about the girls. That prompted Republicans to accuse Democrats of cherry picking. Let's pause there for a second.
It is important to clarify that the Epstein-related files were not released in a single batch. Starting from 2019, a range of court documents connected to the Ghislaine Maxwell civil case and later investigations were gradually made public. Over time, thousands of pages have emerged, including depositions, flight records, witness testimonies, and previously sealed.
This morning, the Justice Department released its largest batch of Epstein documents, which totals over 3 million pages. 3 million is a lot of pages. It's like when your mom says she's reading another book about Olive Kitteridge.
Materials made accessible following court rulings that permitted their release. However, once these documents are examined, one detail becomes immediately obvious: extensive redactions. Nearly every page contains blacked out sections. Entire names are removed, dates are obscured, and locations are hidden. In some cases, pages are almost fully covered in black ink, leaving only scattered words visible between large redacted areas, isolated fragments surrounded by missing context. This is the exact point highlighted by Stephen Colbert, who noted that few in mainstream media addressed the issue directly. Rather than speculating, he took a straightforward approach, compiling the publicly released documents, totaling 687 pages, and reviewing them systematically. His finding drew attention.
President Donald Trump is mentioned more than 1,000 times. And the New York Times found 5,300 files with references to Trump and more than 38,000 references to Trump, his wife, and Mar-a-Lago. 38,000 references. That seems low, Frank.
The pages contained substantial redactions, meaning nearly 1/3 of the material was heavily obscured. Colbert did not claim knowledge of what lay behind the redactions, nor did he accuse any individuals involved in the case. Instead, he focused strictly on what could be observed. Pages where only the opening lines remain readable while the rest is blocked out. Deposition transcripts where...
This is the biggest story imaginable. But for some reason, it isn't. Case in point, I led with a groundhog. Who got to me? These files include many disturbing allegations, all denied by the White House as being unfounded and false. I want to be clear about
legal questions are visible, but responses are fully censored. And flight logs where routes, dates, and destinations are present, but passenger names are replaced with black bars. As a result, the conversation shifted in tone. Instead of reacting to speculation, people began responding to measurable facts. Roughly 39% of the material tied to the case connected to allegations involved.
But among these is that before he was president of the United States, Donald Trump forced an underage girl to perform oral sex and hosted big orgy parties with young girls at one of his golf clubs. Even if these particular parts of the files that the Justice Department released and are denied by the White House is not being proven, what is detailed in those 3 million pages are allegations of some of the cruelest, most depraved crimes against women and kids involving some of the most powerful men on planet Earth.
Underage victims and high-profile individuals remains redacted even years after portions were made public. This raised a broader question. Who is being protected by these redactions? The victims themselves have testified publicly, and their identities are already part of the court record available in the public domain. This contradiction reshapes the discussion. If the individuals directly affected are already publicly known, yet large portions of evidence remain hidden, it changes how transparency is perceived within the justice system. Public trust is often built on access to complete records.
Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's
where openness helps establish accountability. In this case, however, only partial information is visible. Colbert illustrated this by showing a deposition page where the attorney's question is fully readable while the witness's response is entirely blacked out, as well as a flight log where trip details are visible but passenger identities are completely concealed. The implication is clear. The journeys are documented, the timelines are known. But key participants remain unnamed. One individual's identity is publicly known, along with their testimony and personal experiences. Yet others linked to the same flights, gatherings, and social circles remain hidden behind redacted blocks on official pages. This creates a situation where certain identities are fully exposed while others are shielded from view through official censorship. With 212 pages affected, roughly 39% of the total material, the central issue becomes less about what is concealed and more about the reasoning behind it. The key question shifts toward who ultimately benefits from keeping those details out of public view.